Equatorial Guinea's Vice President Teodoro Nguema Obiang Munge has threatened to expel the French ambassador over a row triggered by a corruption case in Paris. Her top French court last year upheld a 3-year suspended term against Obiang over property bought in France with funds suspected to have come from plundered state assets. The decision opened the way to confiscating property in Paris's top-end Avenue Foch, a 3,000 square meter mansion worth an estimated 107 million euros that houses Equatorial Guinea's embassy as well as apartments. An appeal court on Wednesday rejected Equatorial Guinea's bid to overturn the ruling, opening the way in theory for the embassy to be forced out of the mansion. Obiang, better known as Teodorin Obiang, is the son of Equatorial Guinea's 80-year-old president Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo. He has ruled the small oil-rich Central African state for more than 4 decades. Last year, Equatorial Guinea closed its London embassy after Britain accused Obiang of siphoning off state assets to fund a jet-setter lifestyle.
Rwanda's Ministry of Defense says DRC fired 2 rockets into the western part of its country on Friday, causing no casualties but terrifying the population at the border. In its statement, the ministry says it is the 3rd such attack since March. Tensions between the 2 Central African countries have been on the rise as Kinshasa accuses its neighbour of backing M23 rebels, sending this week 500 soldiers in eastern DRC, something Rwanda denies. DRC's National Army has been fighting against M23 insurgents, considered a terrorist group in eastern Congo, for a decade, and violent clashes have been occurring since May. Rwanda and the DRC have had tense relations since the genocide in Rwanda in 1994. Kinshasa regularly accuses Rwanda of sending troops into Congo to support M23 rebels. Kigali has been requesting a regional investigation since the end of May.
A coalition that has led the protest in Guinea against former President Alpha Condé has called for demonstrations on June 23, overriding a ban imposed by the junta that took power by force in 2021. The National Front for the Defense of the Constitution, FNDC, Friday denounced in a statement what it described as the junta's manifest desire to remain in power forever, its refusal of dialogue, and its unilateral management of affairs. It called for a peaceful citizen demonstration on June 23 in the Conakry area to demand a reasonable and consensual deadline. Other than 36 months set by the junta, the coalition orchestrated from 2019 to 2021 the mobilization against the 3rd term of Alpha Condé. The crackdown resulted in dozens of civilian deaths. Rights advocates have long denounced the excessive use of force by police and gendarmes as well as the impunity they enjoy.
Thousands of people staged a march in the Senegalese capital to denounce what they called a plot by the ruling party to exclude some opposition figures from the upcoming parliamentary elections. The rally, which was later joined by main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko, was held in Dakar's Independence Square, not far from the presidency and the National Assembly. An opposition coalition has called for demonstrations against President Macky Sall, whom they accuse of plotting maneuvers to politically eliminate his opponents. The Constitutional Council last Friday rejected a candidates list by Yehu Askanwi, a coalition led by Sonko's party. The rejection means Sonko, who came 3rd in the 2019 presidential election, will be excluded from running for a parliamentary seat.
In Niger, President Mohamed Bazoum is continuing his visits to the west of the country to meet displaced populations. On Thursday, he was in the tri-border area of his country with Burkina Faso and Mali, in the region of Terra, which is under pressure from jihadists. When you return to your home, as I hope that you will, we will guarantee you all the security conditions you need, because by staying here in Terra, you will not farm. And you will depend on the more or less consistent humanitarian assistance that will be given to you. But if you go back to your homes on the eve of winter, you will be able to cultivate your fields, take care of your animals, or at least what is left of them, because I know that terrorists have hurt you a lot in this case, and you will be able to live in the dignity that you aspire to. Some 13,500 people are displaced in Terra, whose proximity to Mali and Burkina Faso has left the town exposed to the horrors of terrorism. All this has no chance of happening if we, the states, do not deploy the necessary forces with the necessary means so that we can create the necessary balance of power to demobilize those who are engaged in this journey. Since 2015, fighting from Mali has spilled into Niger's border region, while militants from Boko Haram, Islamic State West Africa province, and armed bandits have spread from Nigeria into the Sahel region.
Somalia has agreed to lift a ban on flights ferrying cod from Kenya that had been in place for more than 2 years, Kenya's agriculture minister said Friday. The announcement, which comes a day after the Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta visited Mogadishu for the inauguration of Somalia's new president, marks an easing of relations between the two countries. Ties between the two neighbors tanked under the previous president, Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, also known as Farmajo. The ban on air transport of Mira, the other name for cod from Kenya, was imposed in March 2020 as Nairobi and Mogadishu engaged in a series of tit-for-tat actions. The ban has hit central Kenya hard, where 50 tons of the crop, worth some $50,000, were being shipped to Somalia every day. Kenya and Somalia, which share a 700-kilometer border and are in theory allies in the fight against Al-Shabaab, have a stormy relationship. Mogadishu has regularly accused Nairobi of interference, a charge Kenya denies. In December of 2020, Somalia severed diplomatic ties with Kenya before re-establishing them almost a year later.